Sudeganitra pankaja shiki shikanda murdajam ananda koti mohanam namami nandanandanam sunasika gramoktika sachandra danta pankikam navam buddhanga chidana Karenu Venuranjitam Gati Karindra Ganjitam Tukulapita Sobanam Namami Nandanandanam Tribanga Deha Sundaram Nakadyuti Sudhakaram Amuya Ratna Bhushanam Namami Nandanandanam Sugandhanga Sodabamuro Virajikostubam Spurakchivatstalanchanam Namami Nandanandanam Vrindavana Sunagaram Vilasanugavashasham Sarendra Gavamochanam Namami Nandanandanam Rajangana Sunayakam Sada Sukha Pradayakam Jaganmana Pralobamam Namami Nandanandanam Shinandanandanastakam Paterya Shadayanvita Taret Pavadim Dustaram Labetaram Griyugmanam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam Namami Nandanandanam Munendra Vindavandite Triloka Shoka Harini Prasana Vakta Pankaje Nikunja Bhuvilasini Vrajendra Bhanu Nandini Vrajendra Sunu Sangate Kripa Kataksha Bhajanam Ashoka Vriksha Valari Vitanamandamaplite Ravala Vala Valari Vitanarangi Komale Parabhaya Spurat Kare Prabhuta Sampadalaye Kadakarisha Siyama Kripa Kataksha Bhajana Anangaranga Mangala Prasanga Bangura Pruvam Swavi Brahman Sasam Brahman Nirantanam Vasikrita Pratiti Nanda Nandane Kadakarisha Sihamam Kripa Kadaksha Bhajanam Taditsu Varna Champaka Pradipta Gaura Vigrahe Mukha Prabha Parashtaka Tisharadendu Mandale Vichitra Chitra Sancharak Chakora Shavalochane Karisha Sihamam Kripa Kataksha Bhajana Madhumadapiyavane Pramodamannamandite Viyanuragaranjite Kalavilasa Pandite Ananya Kunjaraja Kemakeli Kovide Karakarisha Siyamam Kripakataksha Bhajana Ashesha Hava Pavadira Hirahara Bhushite Prabhuta Shata Kumbha Kumbhi Kumbha Shustani Prasastra Mandahasya Chuna Purna Sokya Sagare Ishasiyamam Kripakataksha Bhajana Nirnalavalabhavare Rangaranga Dulate Latagralasya Lalachana Kadakarishyasihamam Kripakataksha Bhajanam Suvarnamalikanchita Tiretna Sombakantake Shisutra Mangali Guna Triratna Dipti Didipi Salola Nila Kuntala Prashuna Gucha Kumbhite Shasihamam Kripakataksha Bhajana Nitamba Bimbalabha Mana Pushpa Mekhala Gune Prashastra Ratna Kinkini Kalapa Madhya Manjule Karendra Sunda Dandika Akarisha Siyama Kripakataksha Bhajana Aneka Mantra Nada Manjunu Purada Vaskala Samaja Raja Hamsava Sanikvanati Gaurave Pilala Emavadari Karakarisha Siyamam Kripakataksha Bhajana Ananta Koti Vishnu Lokanam Rapadmajachite Imaji Japula Majavirincha Javara Prade Parasiddhi Digda Satpadangulinake Kedakarisha Siyamam Kripakataksha Bhajana Makeshvari Kriyeshvari Svareshvari Sureshvari Triveda Paratishvari Ramana Shashaneshvari Rameshvari Kshameshvari Pramodakananeshvari Parivajadhipe Shiradike Namostute Kimama Bhutam Stavam Ajam Yabanunandini Karotu Santatam Janam Kripakataksha Bhajanam Paveta Daiva Sanchita Chiru Pakarmanashanam Paveta Davrajendra Shuna Mandala Pravashanam Kadakarisha Siyama Kripakataksha Bhajanam Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Namamishvaram Sachidanandarupam Lasakundalam Gokule Prajamanam Yashodabiyolu Kaladavamana Paramishtamatyan Tata Drutya Gopya Rudanta Mohanacha Yugman Mirijantam Karamoja Yugmena Shatanka Netram Muhusvasakam Patire Kanka Kanta Sita Damodaram Bhakti Vada Namamishvaram Sachidanandarupam Lasakundalam Gokule Brajamanam Didiksvalila Virananda Kunde Svagasham Nivajantam Akyaphayantam Tadishita Geshu Bhaktejitatam Punaprematasam Satavriti Vande Namamishvaram Sashiranandarupam Lasakundalam Gokule Brajamanam Paramdeva Moksham Namoksham Vadimva Nachanyam Vrineha Varishadapiha Idam Teva Punata Gopala Balam Sadananasya Virashtam Premanya Namamishvaram Sachidanandarupam Lasakundalam Gokule Brajamanam Idam Te Makumbhajam Avyaktanila Vritam Kuntale Snigdharaktasya Gopya Ushumbitam Bimbaraktadarame Manasya Virashtam Alam Laksham Labai Namamishvaram Sachidanandarupam Lasakundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namadeva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Tuka Jalabdi Magnam Kripadashri Vishyati Dinam Batanu Kriyaneshama Magyamedi Akshidesha Namamishvaram Sachidanandarupam Rasakundalam Gokule Vajamanam Kuvet Macho Badamo Jaivayatva Tvaya Mochita Bhakti Bhajakitocha Tata Prema Bhaktim Svakame Prayacha Namokshe Grau Misti Damodareya Namamishvaram Sachidanandarupam Lasakundalam Gokule Brajamanam Namaste Sudame Spuratiti Dame Vaidiyarayata Vishvashadame Namoratikaye Tvadiyapriyaye Namonantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Namoratikaye Tvadiyapriyaye Namoratikaye Tvadiyapriyaye Namonantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Damodara Ratha Damodara Damodara Ratha Damodara Jaya Radhe Jaya Krishna Jaya Radhe Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
That also means full of energy, full of life. Agyanam timirandasya Jnananjana salakaya Chaksurunmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Twadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namah. Yang Pravajantam Manupetam Apeta Krityam Dvaipayano Virahakataruha Juhava Puriti Tanmayataya Tadavo Benedos Tang Sarvabhuta Hridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vihinai Aparada Lakshay Chiptasya Kamadi Tarangamadye Kripamai Twang Sharanam Prapadyam Prinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavoivasmi Tavoivasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charananti Angashamalim Chatabirabito Mandi Kritandivaram Chadyam Jagudavrochi Padadatam Patambarasya Shriya Vrindaranya Vilasanam Ridilasat Tamabhiramodaram Radhaskand Veshito Jvalabhujam Dhyayamadamodaram Dhyayamadamodaram. I meditate upon that Damodar, whose dark bodily luster is millions of times more beautiful than the blue lotus flower, whose brilliant yellow garments rebuke the radiance of a golden kumkum, whose residence is Sri Vrindavan Dham, whose chest is beautified by a swinging Vaijayantamala garland, and whose splendorous left hand rests upon the right shoulder of Srimati Radhika. Otherwise he couldn't stand up. Where's Haridas?
He's right here.
Can you make this louder?
I can. It might be very...
Let's give it a try. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful. Wait, let's get some mercy of Radharani. The pink paper. Kripayati yadi radha padita shesha badha kimaparavashishtam pushtim aryadayorme yadi vadati cha kinchit smeraha sodita shrir dvijavadamani pramtya mukti shaktya tadakim Shama Sundara Shikhanda Shekhara Smeraha Samurali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanite Swapriya Charana Kinkari Prananatha Vrishabhanu Nandane Srimukhabjarasalola Satapada Radhika Padatale Kutastitam Tambajami Ratikendra Shekhar Sambadaya Dashani Chinam Bibo Prartaye Brajamahendra Nandana Astu Mohantavati Ballava Janma Janmani Mariswari Pri. First, I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Diksha Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asto Tirasat Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta, Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful Shiksha Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Asto Tirasat Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And Srila Bhakti began Parati Goswami Maharaj. To our grandfather Gurudevs, Sri Srimad Bhakti began Keshava Goswami Maharaj and Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. To all his divine associates, to all our Gaudiya Guru Varga, and to all the assembled devotees. And the assembled devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Madhav Maharaj, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Ban Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Siddhanti Maharaj. So here we are at our temple in Vrindavan, in Govardhan, Giridhari Gaudiya Math. And today we'll be leaving from here right now to go on a very special parikrama. First to Kushima Sarovara. I thought we're going there before Radhakund. Oh, we'll go there on the way back according to our panda. Very beautiful place. And Udab Kund is on the way. And Udab Kund is on the way, so we'll be going there first. Then we'll be going all around Radhakund and to the special holy places there. And then on the way back, we'll be going to the holy Kushima Sarovara. Hari does, it needs to be a drop lower so it doesn't screech. So we're going out of the mutt now, chanting in ecstasy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. And we are turning right, left, and coming around to Uddhav Kunda. Now we're going to hear from Gurudev about this glorious place. Uddhav is a relative of Krishna, the minister of Krishna in Dwarka, and Krishna once sent him to Vrindavan to pacify the Vrijabasis who were suffering in his separation. He's so dear to Uddhav that he was personally sent to externally to console the gopis, but internally Krishna's real desire for him was that he um, that he learn what the 2.5 letter word prema means by seeing how the gopis have that. So, after the disappearance of Krishna, he also went to Vrindavan. And let's hear about what happened. Uddhav Kund is situated exactly west of Kusuma Sarovara on the right side of the Parikrama path. Vajranabha Maharaj, who is the great grandson of Sri Krishna, Vajranabha manifested a lot of deities and a lot of holy places. So under the guidance of Sandilya Rishi, Vajranabha manifested this holy place of Uddhav Kund. Uddhav always resides nearby here as grass, because when he went to Braj he went to learn from the gopis, where Radharani is the principal of the University of Prem, or Pure Love, and Lalita and Vishaka are the superintendents. And then there were teachers. So he went to enroll there to learn that. But he wasn't accepted even in the school. He couldn't even pass the test. So when he was there, he made a prayer that he wants to take birth as grass or as a shrub, a bush, anywhere in Vrindavan, so that when the gopis, who he realized were so exalted, like if you look up at Mount Everest and you're wearing a cap, it would fall off the back. So that's what he realized. And so he prayed that in his next birth, or a next birth, he could become a shrub or grass, a bush, so that when the gopis go out for meeting Krishna at night and they're walking or running, their foot dust would bathe that shrub or grass. The Srimad Bhagavatam Mahatmya of the Skanda Purana gives an interesting description of this place. After the disappearance of Krishna, his queens in Dwarka were greatly afflicted by sorrow. Once, Vajranabha came here with them, and they loudly performed Sankirtan. In that great Sankirtan, all of the associates of Krishna started to appear. See, they're coming from Dwarka, now they're in Vrindavan. And there's no more pastimes in Vrindavan. They went uppercut or unmanifest in their own abode of Goloka Vrindavan. And so when they were doing their Sankirtan, because Sankirtan is the way to attract Krishna's attention, isn't it? Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama eva kavilam, kalo nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. There's no other way than chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, and especially congregational chanting. That's what was realized by the gopis during their Gopi Geet, chapter 30 of 10th canto, when the gopis are searching for Krishna and he's nowhere to be found. They decided, let's just go to the bank of the Jamuna and sing. That will attract him.
So Gopi Geet isn't considered Vandanam?
Gopi Geet is not Vaidhi Bhakti Bandhanam. It's Bandhanam in Ragatmika Bhakti, love of Krishna. Like if you remember, at the end of Manushiksha, it says, if you desire residence in Goloka Vrindavan, and you want to engage in the service of Radha and Krishna, then you have to engage in these 5 limbs of bhakti, these panchamrita, the 5 forms of nectar. What are they?
Worshipping, chanting.
Worshipping. So that's what we do. But it's a different kind of worship. Worshipping, chanting, hearing, offering obeisances. That's what we do. And what else?
Remembering.
And remembering. That's what we try to do. But it's a whole different thing. Like Vasanti and I were with Gurudev in Delhi once at the foot of his bed, and he was sitting on his bed Vyasasana, and he was telling us what hearing and chanting means on that realm. That is, the gopis and Krishna are on their way to Nanda Bhavan, Krishna's palace, and then Krishna's there and they have this conversation. And you participate in that, in your internal form. That's Raganuga Bhakti Sadhan. In your internal form, you're participating in that. And they're joking and laughing. So it's bandhanam on a different level. So in that great Sankirtan, all the associates of Krishna started to appear one by one. The associates of Dwarka all sang and danced, and Arjuna began to dance and play mridanga. Never heard of that before. Arjuna, the archer, playing mridanga and dancing. Suddenly, that exalted soul, Sri Uddhav, emerged from the grass and shrubs, and he also became immersed in dancing in that Mahasankirtan. How could Krishna not come there? Finally, he also appeared in that Mahasankirtan Ras, along with Srimati Radhika and the other Sakis. And after some time, he disappeared again. Uddhav pacified the queens at that place. Pilgrims performing parikrama of Sri Govardhan proceed along the parikrama path till they arrive at Sri Radhakund. The parikrama and pastime places in the vicinity of Radhakund have already been described in the chapter on Radhakund, but we're on the way there. So let us, you show them where we are, Panditji. Okay, so here we are at the Kund, and you are all sitting on the different stone platforms, and now you're all going to stand up and first do Achman. Your hand is expanding and getting longer and longer, and you're doing Achman in this kund or pond. And then you retract your hand and you head first dive in and swim around. And now come out, dry yourself off, and roll in the dust here. You know, it's interesting, like you're on this dusty road, and then you turn right, and you're in this like tiniest of temples with the deities there. And then there's another door on the other side of the temple, and you go out that door, and there's this big kund. So now dry off. Let's roll in the dust here. Put the dust on our head, heart, tongue, and eyelids. And then let's proceed to Radhakund and Shamakund. So we're walking and walking. What? And here we come to the... So this is the Thakurji in that little tiny temple. So let's offer obeisances here. Taking the dust of this place on our head. And now we keep walking and walking. And now we turn right. And here we come to the temple. This time it's a very big temple where we see the Samadhi tomb of Sri Raghunath Das Goswami. And Gurudev is standing there. Huh? Yeah, this is where Gurudev would speak. So in the Braj Vilastava, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami prays, Sri Govardhan is the arena of the nectarian ras, where the most confidential amorous pastimes of the divine couple take place. Because it and other places are situated in Sri Vrindavan, Vrindavan has become exceedingly charming. Yet, the glories of Vrindavan, what to speak of Braj Mandal's other pastime places, are not equal to a mere shadow or particle. Shadow of a particle. Can you imagine? A shadow of a particle. All the other places in Braj are not equal to a shadow of a particle of the glories of Radhakund. I take shelter of this Radhakund, which is more dear to Krishna or Mukunda than his own life. So Radhakund lies near a village called Arigram. Aristasura, he's a big bull demon. And he was a servant of the evil king Kamsa. And he attacked Krishna with the aim of killing him. But Krishna killed him instead at this very place where we're standing now. At Radhakund, the divine couple Radha and Krishna perform their midday pastimes and freely enjoy a variety of amorous pastimes without any obstruction. This is not possible anywhere else. Therefore, Radhakund is considered to be the topmost place of bhajan, superior even to Nandagaon, Barsana, Vrindavan, and Govardhan. That's saying a lot. This confidential place, surcharged with the highest and most sublime, loving, transcendental sentiments, was therefore revealed by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. No one else could have discovered this place. You have the 6 Goswamis, you have Vajranava. All these devotees found different holy places, but only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could have discovered this place. Previously, Madhavendra Puri, Sri Lokanath Goswami, and Bhugarbha Goswami also came to Braj, where they revealed various pastime places, but even they did not reveal this one. So we're going to take it from the angle of Aristasura, and we're going to take it from the angle. Are you all attached to being way down there at the end of the pendulum? If you like, there's lots of room here. Krishna killed the Aristasura bull demon during the day. The same night, he met with Sri Radhika and his other beloveds there. He was very eager to embrace Srimati Radhika, but as soon as he reached out to do so, she jokingly stepped back, and said, "Today you have killed a bull," or as Gurudev would say, a bug bill, instead of a big bull, which belongs to the cow family. You have therefore committed a sin of killing a cow. Don't touch us, our pure bodies, with your impure one. Smiling, Krishna answered, "Oh, dear most one, I killed a demon who had deceitfully assumed the form of a bull. So how can sin touch me for that?" So Srimati Radhika insisted, "Whatever he was in the form of a bull. And you killed him. So you're definitely guilty of the sin of killing a cow." All the other Sakis fully supported Radharani's words. Then Krishna asked how could he atone for this sin. So she smiled and said, "The only atonement is to bathe in every single holy place in the world." So Krishna created a wide kund simply by striking his heel on the ground. He then summoned all the holy places personified, because every holy place has a personality, a controlling deity. And they immediately came there in their personified forms, and Krishna asked them to enter the kund as sweet water. When Krishna had bathed in that kund, he again tried to embrace her. But in response to the bragging of Krishna, that look what I just did, she now wanted to manifest a kund full of water that was larger and more exquisite than Krishna's. She and her Sakis stubbornly dug out a very attractive kund with their bracelets. You think it took a long time? No. Correct. But, so they dug it, but no water entered there. Krishna joked that they could take water from his kund.
No way.
But Srimati, along with her innumerable Sakis, just picture innumerable Sakis. Impossible. They indignantly prepared themselves to bring water from Manasi Ganga in clay pots. Krishna signaled to all the holy places that they should insist to Srimati Radhika and her Sakis that they would fill up her kund. From his, they would just jump over. The holy places personified prayed to her and her Sakis and glorified them in many ways. Thus, they finally pleased her. She gave them permission to enter her kund, and immediately a current of water flowed from Krishna kund into Radha kund. With great pleasure, Krishna bathed and sported with Srimati Radhika and the Sakis in the water of this dear kund. Now, how many of you have been to Radha kund? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 on the way, 6. Okay, so you experienced that in between the two kunds, there is a platform. You stand on the platform, look one way is Radha kund, and the other is Shyama kund. But underneath the platform is the same water. So really, Radhakund and Shamkund are one waterway. It just looks like two. Similarly, Radha and Krishna are one soul, but it's like one soul in two bodies, or one stem with two lotus flowers, a blue one and a yellow one coming out of that stem. So these two kunds manifested at midnight, and we all went there a few days ago to take bath at midnight. On Krishnastami, the 8th day of the dark moon, in the month of Kartik. Therefore, thousands of people bathe here at midnight on this day, which is known as Bahulastami. The Padma Purana states, radiantly beautiful Sri Radhakund is situated at the foot of Giriraj Govardhan. Faithful people who bathe here on Krishnastami in the month of Kartik receive Prema Bhakti. I think you've all received that, especially Haridas, right?
Yes.
And one of the qualities of Prem is humility. That's why we see how humble he is. No comment?
I can't hear.
You heard that.
No, I didn't.
I said one of the qualities of Prem is humility. And because Haridas has received Prem, that's why he's so humble.
I received rain?
I thought you said you did.
Sure.
He changes his mind. This same Purana also states, unalloyed devotees of Sri Radha Krishna who go to Radhakund on the day of Dipavali, which was yesterday, in the month of Kartik, are granted a vision of the complete Braj Mandala as well as the entire universe. All right, now everybody jump back into yesterday. And here we are at Radhakund. So there. Now very soon we're going to get a vision of complete Braj and the universe. Stay tuned. So, what is the history of the Kundas? Sometime after Krishna had left for Dwarka, both Kunds disappeared. While uncovering the pastime places of Braj, Krishna's great-grandson, remember his name? King Vajra Nabha. Not Braja, but Vajra Nabha. He restored these two kunds under the guidance of Sandilya and other sages. Then, 5,000 years later, which was 500 years ago, they again disappeared. That's what happens with these holy places. They appear and disappear. Even in Navadvip, sometimes the holy places of Lord Chaitanya's pastimes are manifest, and then the Ganges River changes course and floods that holy place. So everything comes and goes, even the manifestation of the holy places in this world. So Lord Chaitanya inquired from the local people about Radhakund and Shamakund, but they could provide him no information. They could only tell him that there was a Kali Kate and a Gauri Kate. Kali means black and Gauri means golden, which is like a tiny little puddle practically. Mahaprabhu reverentially addressed Kali Kate and Gauri Kate as Radhakund and Shamakund, and he offered his respect. Then, as he bathed in them, he became overwhelmed with ecstasy, and losing all composure, he cried out, "Oh, Radha, Krishna!" And then he fainted. The place where he sat down is now called Tamal Kun, Tala, Tala, Tamal Tala. Tala is a seating place. So it is also known as Mahaprabhu's sitting place. And are you there? So we can roll in the dust of Mahaprabhu's at this very place where we are right now. He sat there and he called out, "Oh Radha, oh Krishna," and he fainted. Then Raghunath Das Goswami also came here to Radhakund when, after the disappearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Das Goswami came from Jagannath Puri and performed bhajan at Radhakund. Once, the Mughal Emperor Akbar was making his way along the path. With his vast army, the emperor's divisions of men, elephants, horses, and camels were very thirsty. Seeing Das Goswami, the Akbar asked, "Is there any big pond nearby?" And Das Goswami motioned to him, "You can take water over there in Kalikate and Gorikate." But this water is not sufficient for even one elephant, what to speak of an army of elephants. How will it quench the thirst of my entire army? So on the repeated request, no, just try, go, of Das Goswami, Emperor Akbar encouraged his men to drink. To his amazement, the whole army and its horses, elephants, and camels drank to their full satisfaction, and yet the water in the little tiny ponds, no bigger than this little rug, it didn't reduce even slightly. That's the nature of spirit. After performing bhajan here for some time, the thought of restoring the two kundas means getting it back to its original size, entered the mind of Raghunath Das Goswami. But when he remembered the transcendental glories of Radhakund, he began to reproach himself. Like, how do I know what Radha and Krishna want? And also he knew that the whole Kund is here. So it's not that it's not here. And I'm thinking of making it here. So then what happened? At that very moment, see, everything happens in a real interesting way with the pure devotees of the Lord. Just when he thought, oh, I'm so bad for thinking like this, the kunds are already here. A wealthy person, did you hear that, Haridas?
I did.
A wealthy person from Badarik Ashram came. Badarik Ashram is the place where Supreme Lord Krishna resides as Badri Narayan. So he said to Raghunath Das Goswami, Bhagavan Badri Narayan has sent me to you. On his order, I am offering to cover all the expenses required to restore these two ponds to their original charming forms. Kindly accept my offer. Sri Das Goswami became speechless. Earlier he had rejected this idea, but now, knowing it to be the desire of Radha and Krishna, because they manifested at Badri Narayan, who spoke in the heart of this very wealthy man, he began the work of reconstructing the kunds. While Radhakund was being restored, the banks easily formed a rectangular shape, as we see now. Are we there, Visanti? We're there at that rectangular shape of perfect symmetry. At Radhakund, where we're seeing the very square shape of Radhakund. Shamakund was also to be rectangular, but due to this, some trees had to be cut down, and these were not ordinary trees. What? Let's see. Well, I guess you could go to 151, 151, and 153. You can see the difference in the shapes. So these were not ordinary trees. That night, while Sri Raghunath Das Goswami was performing bhajan, he dozed off. Where's Sumukhi? She's cooking. So Sumukhi, I know you can hear me, so you're in the right line. And they said, we are the 5 Pandavas. As trees, we are worshipping the youthful couple here. So please do not cut us down. See, now they're the greatest devotees in Dwarka, where Krishna sometimes shows his forearm form and shows opulence. But when they come to Vrindavan, they're just trees. Shows the exaltation of Vrindavan. As trees, we are worshipping the youthful couple here. So please do not cut us down. We're doing bhajan. Rather, let the shape of the pond be crooked. For this reason, Das Goswami did not have the trees cut down and allowed the outline of the kund to remain crooked, just like Krishna is crooked. He's in a crooked, threefold bending form. He simply, Raghunath Das Goswami, he simply had it deepened. And its guts properly restored. Both kunds are still in the same shape today, and over the years, a few repairs have been carried out. So, Govardhan can be compared either to a peacock with the head turned in to the stomach, or a cow in the same position, a lying down cow. And Radhakund and Shamkund are the 2 eyes of Govardhan. So now there's a very Rasic book, a book of intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna and the gopis. And this book is called Krishna Bhavanamrita by Srila Viswanath Chakrabarti Thakur. So there's a beautiful description of Radhakund, or both kunds. In Krishna Bhavanamrita, also Govinda Lilamrita. Govinda Lilamrita is by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who is also the author of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Both books are the outline of Radha and Krishna's 24-hour-a-day pastimes. They describe Radhakund and Shamkund in delightful nectarian ways. Brajendranandan Sri Krishna is the source of all incarnations. He's the origin of everything, and yet he is without any origin. That's pretty inconceivable. He's the personification of all nectarian mellows. You know the Sanskrit for that? Akila Rasamrita Murti. Murti means he's the form of all nectarian mellows. And the source of all power. What's the Sanskrit for that? Sarva Shaktiman. Even so, even though he has these two qualities, what? He's the source of all mellows. In other words, he's the central point of everyone's love. And he's the embodiment of all power. At the same time, he's subservient to Radharani and the gopis here. Especially Radharani. Krishna always establishes the glories of his beloved Kishori, Srimati Radhika. Kishori means teenager, and considers her superior to himself. Radhakund and Shamakund are non-different from Radha and Krishna. And Krishna loves Radhakund as much as he loves Radharani, which is unlimited. North of Radhakund is the Kunja of Sri Lalita, and it's called Lalitanandada, which is shaped like a golden. Remember yesterday we were speaking about how the different 8 kunjas, they're different colors due to made of different stones and different color flowers. So her kund, Lalita's kunja means secluded grove. You're offering your obeisances there? So yeah, we're offering obeisances to Lalita Kunj. We're also offering our obeisances, taking a step back, to Raghunath Das Goswami. So that's shaped like a golden lotus flower. We can't imagine like I'm picturing right now a golden lotus flower, but that's not what it's like. It's just to give us some really vague idea. Like, Mommy, where's the moon? Look, the moon is sitting on the branch over there. Okay, then in the northeast is Vishakhanandada. Means the kunj that gives pleasure to Vishaka. And this is the bejeweled kunj of Vishakasaki, which is shaped like a 16-petaled lotus. In the east is Chitranandada, the kunj of Chitrasaki, which displays an amazing variety of forms and colors, because Chitra's an artist. Gurudev said she's my art teacher. And so art means like there's so many colors and shapes. And so her kunja has so many forms and colors and shapes. And vichitra means astonishing variety of anything. In the southeast is the kunja of Indulegasaki, Induleganandada. It's shaped like an 8-petal lotus and is made of diamonds. It's not that it's a lotus made of diamonds, but just to give us a vague idea. In the south is the kunj of Champakalata, and that's shaped like a golden lotus. And in the southwest is the lotus-like kunj of Rangadevi, Rangadevi Sukara, which is inlaid with blue sapphires. Tungavidyanandara is the kunj of Tungavidya, and this kunj resembles a lotus flower made of red rubies. But it's much more valuable than red rubies. Red rubies are nothing compared to the beauty and opulence of this kunj. In the north is Anandada, or Sudevi Sukara Kunja. The lotus-shaped kunj of Sudevi, which is inlaid with emeralds. Interesting that you were wearing a green sari this morning and green choli now. In the center of Radhakund is Ananga Manjari Anandada, the kunj that gives pleasure to Ananga Manjari, who is Radharani's little sister, who is the female manifestation of Balaram. And she is a Manjari, that is, she has the qualities of Rupa Manjari, who has no interest in a relationship with Krishna directly, but just wants to serve Radha and Krishna. And she's also partly the other kind of Saki, who likes to have a relationship with Krishna. And her kunja is shaped like, and that's in the middle of Radhakund, her kunja is shaped like a 16-petaled lotus inlaid with moonstones. Maybe because Balaram is white. This kunj, also known as Swananda Sukara Kunj, belongs to Ananga Manjari. And you could see, because here we are at Radhakund, you could see the other kunjas around Radhakund. And then on the side of Krishna, Shyamakund, you can see the 8 kunjas of the 8 prominent Priyanarm Sakas, or cowherd friends of Krishna, like Madhu Mangal Kunj, Ujjwala Nandada Kunj, Arjuna Nandada Kunj, like that.
Who meets in those kunjas?
Well, the cowherd boys gave the kunj to the different 8 sakis. So it is connected, Radhakund and Shyamakund, Ananga Manjari's kunja is connected to the bank, like, okay, we're at the bank, and then there's Radhakund. In the center of Radhakund, there's Ananga Manjari Kunja, little forest grove, secluded grove. And that's connected by a bridge, which is also made of moonstones. Can you picture that? The round kunj. Well, yeah. At least you can picture it with your own limited, tiny, infinitesimal intelligence. And then there's a bridge of moonstones, and then there's the bank. And around the bank are all the 8 kunjas. So in the northwestern area of Shyamakund is a delightful place made of diamonds and emeralds and other precious stones, where I wish you could understand English. What's his name? Jagadananda Prabhu. Jagadananda. If you could understand English, you'd be so happy right now. So keep learning. So this is the place where Radhika daily takes bath. Remember, it's a place of emeralds, diamonds, and other valuable jewels. But what does that mean? It's natural It's not just made of diamonds and emeralds. It's natural, foresty, but it's more valuable. But for us, they're talking about diamonds and emeralds, because that's the only thing we know that's valuable. And then north of this place is Subalanandada, which Subal gave to Radharani. Radha and Krishna take rest here. In the northern part of Shamakund is is a kunja Madhu Mangala called, you ready for this long name? Madhu Mangala Nandada, which is inlaid with white pearls. And he gave this kunja to Lalita. The youthful couple enjoy merriment and laughter here. It'll be rare when a cowherd boy comes here.
He gave it to Lalita for her to arrange for Radha and Krishna to meet in?
Yeah, in other words, it's his kunj, but he gave it away. Ujjvala, he's also one of the Priyanam, or most intimate sakas. He's in the northwest, and his kunja is made of red jewels, which was given to Vishaka. In the east is Arjun's kunj. This is a different Arjun than you find in the Bhagavad Gita. This Arjun is the source of that Arjun, just like everybody has its source in Vrindavan. Just like Krishna told his parents, Ganga is already in Vrindavan. We don't have to travel to Ganga. Just like Krishna in Dwarka has his source in Krishna and Vrindavan. So Arjun, Dwarka, has his source in Vrindavan as one of Krishna's closest cowherd friends. And then another very intimate cowherd boy, he's called Gandharvanandada Kunj. And his kunj displays a variety of colors and forms and belongs to Gandharva Saka, who gave it to Induleka Saki. I'm going to test you all on who gave who what. There's a Vidagdanandada Kunj belonging to Vidagda Saka, and he gave his kunj to Champaklata. And here, Radha and Krishna play the game called Chopada, which doesn't have a description. Bringa Saka, another cowherd boy, he gave his kunj to Rangadevi. Anyway, it goes on like that. In the juncture of the two kunds, Radhakund and Shamakund, is a platform that we've been on many times, made of many kinds of jewels. Vasandi, did you see the jewels? She saw them. It is also called the yoga pit of Krishna's pastimes. To the south of Radhakund are jeweled swings hanging from the branches of the champak tree. Swings inlaid with precious stones hang from the branches of kadamba trees to the east. To the west, a swing made of jewels hangs from the branches of mango trees. And to the north, jeweled swings hang from the branches of bakula trees. It's a place of a lot of swings, because there are several swings on each of the different kinds of trees. Rasi Krishna plays on these swings with Radhika and the other Sakis. Now all these trees are wish-fulfilling trees. Did you have any of your wishes fulfilled yet? Vasanti did. And Haridas has a wish, I know what that is. So now he's at that kunja So you can just take advantage of the opportunity, Haridas. Because they're all wish-fulfilling trees. Like, take your pick, Haridas. Mango, jackfruit, kadamba, pakula, and so on. And they are also abundantly laden with fruits and flowers. So you can also take the fruits and flowers from those trees and offer them to Radharaman Bihariji and offer your prayers. Around the bases of these trees are platforms made of precious jewels. I hope you're picturing all this. Huh? Yeah, really? You see her? See, Vasanti jumped from being one of the two monkeys that she actually posed for, and she jumped all the way as a human to this place at Radhakund. So Vrinda Devi makes all kinds of arrangements for the service of the divine couple. Actually, Haridas, I want to tell you that there's a devotee from Radhe Kunj, and he's a taxi driver. And whenever we're in Vrindavan, he takes us around in his taxi. And just before we left, remember, Vasanti? Before we left, it was just a few days before we were leaving Vrindavan, having just printed the art book. And Gurudev had told me to give a copy to the President of India, but of course the Prime Minister is even more powerful. So it's only a couple of days left, and we went to the different holy places, and we prayed there in the different holy places that they would kindly arrange for us to fulfill Gurudev's order. And so then we got some phone calls, and we were able to go to see the president. And then we got another couple of phone calls that we were able to go see the prime minister.
I only pray that I don't think I'm the doer. Should I also pray for all the things too?
Yeah. Because then you'll get everything. But that was a very excellent prayer. Because Lord Brahma prayed to Lord Vishnu that he wouldn't think he's the doer of creating this universe. And it came out pretty well. You want to get a place that Radha and Krishna want, that they'll be happy with for our bhakti, that will inspire our bhakti, not take away. All seasons are eternally serving the divine couple under the guidance of the spring season. And Vrinda Devi, who is non-different from Yogamaya. Yogamaya is one, the pastime potency of Krishna. Gurudev said if you take all the pastimes and shape it into a beautiful elderly guru lady named Yogamaya, that's her. All the pastime places in one. And because she's guru, she can't go into the kunjas. So she expands herself as Vrinda Devi, who is Yogamaya, but who can go into the kunja and make all those arrangements. So she is more important, even though they're the same person, Vrinda Devi is more important for us because she has more mercy for us. So Vrinda Devi makes all kinds of arrangements for the service of the divine couple. Cuckoos coo, and the peacocks dance and make a sweet ke-ka sound. Can anybody do that? Santi, good. Good. Blue and red lotuses and various kinds of ketiki flowers frolic in the waves of these divine ponds. Maybe you could look up Ketaki. Of course, it's not going to look like that back then, but some vague idea. And cranes also play in the water with their consorts, making sweet sounds. We have a lot of cranes around here, don't we? Different kinds of birds recite love poetry on the branches of the trees, giving pleasure to Radha and Krishna. And deer and does roam about in attractive bowers nearby. Except for Radhika's most intimate girlfriends, no one can enter this forest of Radhakund. And then, did we bathe yet? So you can do Achman here at Radhakund and then bathe all around the Kund. You can also swim around Nangamanjari's Kunj in the middle, made of moonstones. And then come back to the bank and get out and dry off. Now we're going to... Did you roll in the dust here? You did not. My negligence. Let's roll in the dust here, taking the dust on our head, eyelids, tongue, and heart, and pray that the pastimes, my pastimes, which are complete, filthy, perverted reflection of Radha and Krishna's pastimes, disappear from my heart and their pastimes enter. So now there's Julan Tala. On the western side is Julan Tala. Once, Sri Sanatana Goswami and Rupa Goswami were sitting near Sri Raghunath Das Goswami's Bhajan Kutir in the northeastern side, immersed in narrations about Radha and Krishna. Sanatana Goswami asked Rupa Goswami, "Rupa, what are you writing about these days?" And Rupa showed Sanatana his poetry called Chatu Pushpanjali that he had composed. And the first verse of Chatur or Chatu? Chatu. Let's see. Chatu Pushpanjali. Here's the first verse. Navagarochana Gaudim Prabhaden Divarambaram Manistava Kavidyoti Veni Vyalangana Panam. My goodness, Veni Vyalangana Panam. Panam is the head of a serpent. So it says that Radharani's braid looks like the head of a female serpent. O Vrindavaneshwari, I offer prayers to you again and again. You are golden complexioned, like ever-fresh Garochana. Your cloth is the color of a beautiful blue lotus flower, and the upper part of your long braid, which is decorated with jewels, appears like the hood of a black female serpent. When Sanatana Goswami read this, he thought, that's impossible. Radharani is so sweet, so innocent. How can the head of her braid look like a black female serpent? So he said, let me take the book and see if I can help make any improvements. And so Rupa Goswami gave the book. Then he was going back to his own abode, and he saw that there was a beautiful girl sitting on a swing, like an ordinary village girl. And her friends were pushing her on the swing. Then all of a sudden, he saw a black snake, what looked like a black snake, writhing up her back. And he said, Lolly, Lolly, dear darling girl, there's a snake crawling up your back. Do something. And then all of a sudden, the friends who were pushing her disappeared. The swing disappeared, and the girl disappeared. And then he realized, oh my goodness, that's Radharani. And whatever Rupa Goswami wrote, that's a fact. I don't know what she could have done about it. So, when he got very close, there was nothing there. And then he came back to Rupa Goswami and he said, now I realize that your simile means this looks like that, is perfect. You don't need to change anything. And why does Radharani have to have a black serpent end of the braid? So that when Krishna sees it, he can faint. Because the serpent bites him. Then he faints in enchantment. What to speak of her, even her maidservant, Vinod Manjari, has a braid that does that to Krishna. So Julan means swing. So this was at this now place is called Julan Tala, the place where the swing was, where Sanatana Goswami had darshan of Radha. And then we just keep walking around the Radhakund and we find Janava, Thakurani's sitting place. Janava, let's bow down here, roll in the dust here. I mean, it's not made of dust, it's stone these days, or marble, rather. But still there's some spiritual dust on them. And that's where the consort of Nityananda Prabhu personally came and sat here and did her bhajan. This very place where we're standing now, there's a ghat. So Janava Devi could just go down the steps to take bath in the Kund here. And near her ghat is the temple of Gopinath. Adjacent to that temple is Sri Raghunath Das Goswami's place of residence and his Pushpa Samadhi, which kind of looks like a linga a little bit, like a Shiva linga a little bit, or like a dome, or like a bullet. And now we're circumambulating his Samadhi and remembering how Raghunath Das Goswami did his bhajan here, and how once, when he was doing his bhajan at Radhakund, 2 tigers came and drank water and left. And Sanatana Goswami saw this from a little distance, so he told Raghunath Das Goswami that it could be dangerous during the day. Tigers come, so let me build you a hut so that at night and in the day you can do your bhajan in the hut and there's no danger there. But then once he was doing his bhajan out in the open and it was the middle of the day and Radharani saw him and it was hot, it was very sunny. So Radharani personally, just see what happens to you if you do bhajan, real bhajan, weeping, feeling separation. Radharani came over with her veil and held it over the head of Raghunath Das Goswami to give him shade. So we're passing by his bhajan kutir as well. And now we're seeing the tigers. Are we seeing the tigers? We're seeing the tigers, and we're also seeing Radharani's veil. Are we? Now we're seeing more of Raghunath Das Goswami's Bhajan Kuti, and now we're coming to another associate of Mahaprabhu, Gopal Bhatta Goswami. We're offering obeisances to Raghunath Das Goswami's Bhajan Kuti and Gopal Bhatta's Bhajan Kutir, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami's Bhajan Kutir. And you see the room? You can put your head on the bed. Put your head on the altar. And there's Krishna Das Kaviraj himself, writing Chaitanya Charitamrita. And now we're coming to the samadhis of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami, and Raghunath Das Goswami. What's happening tomorrow? Can we go to the rest of Radhakund tomorrow? Because there's so many places in and around Radhakund. Phew. And tomorrow, where are we going? Oh, okay, great. So tomorrow is another great big festival. We'll be completing our... Huh? Yes, lots of cooking, our Panditji says. Because if anybody does not make a preparation, either complex or simple, like nobody makes preparations as simple as I do. Like you take a papaya and put some dates walking on them, and you spread a little bit of peanut butter on top. But if anybody doesn't make any preparation, then he'll be bitten by the snakes and go downhill. Or you can give money for a preparation if you don't know how to prepare. Okay, lots of places. Whoa. Lots of places. And lots of places. All right, so we have a great day tomorrow, great day today. Tomorrow there'll be garland making. You have a lot of experience? All right, so the other girls will be there helping. Okay, Brajamandala Parikrama ki jai, Radhakund ki jai, Shamakunda ki jai, the Astasakis plus Ananga Manjaris, Kunjas ki jai, Uddhav Kunda ki jai, Niyam Seva Vrat ki jai, Kartik Brat ki jai, Uja Brat ki jai, Ujeswari, Brajeswari, Pramoda Kananeswari, Sri Radhika, Thakurani ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Nittai Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gora Hari Bo, Nittai Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gaur Premandi. Okay, Panchakalpataribhyascha Kripasindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. And don't forget Vaishnavebhyo. Good start.
Yeah.
Kitata.
I'm afraid of no more just
Good. Are you going to defeat Kadagraja?
defeat him.
And he even goes like that.
Oh yeah, he's really good. It'll be like when Radha and Krishna have competitions, smiling competitions.
Right. Like Radha and Krishna. And gopis. Oh yeah, it keeps flowing.